Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And we got some breaking news. European Central Bank mulls digital euro exploratory phase. This is what everybody in the crypto space is talking about right now, and it's going to be our main subject for today. Then again, you understand already, but we have a ton of other crypto news to cover. You can see the amount of articles we have open at the top right here, so sit around, stay tuned, it's about to be interesting, and I have a question for y'all. Do you think you'll succeed in the crypto space? The reason I'm asking is because I see so much uncertainty. Make sure you understand. These videos are not ever meant to make you uncertain. They're always meant to make you more certain and to inspire you to get a little bit further into crypto. I firmly believe that cryptocurrency is one of the best choices we've all made, and I firmly believe that literally every single person watching these videos is going to get better off at one point or another, so to speak, with the help of crypto. My own opinion, my own thoughts, but I want to know if you guys think about it the same way, or if you think you've signed yourself a little, a little bit of a ticket downhill. All right. So, European Central Bank mulls digital euro exploratory phase. Instantly, I am thinking of what connections this has to Ripple. The ECB is deciding whether or not to move to an exploratory phase with the digital euro. The ECB president, Christine Lagarde, believes the process could take about 2 years, and the ECB believes countries without a CBDC risk losing control of the money supply. And obviously, the ECB controlling the euro is obviously not one country, but multiple. Then again, this losing control over the money supply there is, of course, not really that relevant unless you're talking about specific smaller countries with a more, domesticated currency. With euro, if the ECB doesn't work on it, then obviously they're not going to lose control over the euro money supply, right? Obviously, because they're basically the same thing. But it could be over smaller parties. Again, that's only my thought, though. And the fact that if all other countries are doing it, it might hurt you. Now, we also have Christine Lagarde herself over on Twitter. She stated, "We have decided to move up a gear and start the investigation phase of the digital euro project." Now, this is a little bit of a lie because, of course, I've told you guys before, and make sure you remember this type of stuff because it's important. If they tell you that they're moving towards something, they've most likely already done it a long time ago. These guys are not here to make you money. They're most likely here to make themselves money or leave their names in some sort of legacy. They're not here to give you guys the announcements as soon as they can. No, they want to do it in the most strategic way possible. So if they say something like this, better understand they know it's feasible. Because they're not going to all of a sudden in a couple months say, "Oh no, we've decided to abandon everything here. We've investigated, we don't think it's possible." No, they know it's going to happen. And right now, they've already investigated for a little while and they're announcing it to you. So it obviously also looks like they're faster than they are. In the digital age, people and firms should continue to have access to the safest form of money, central bank money, which again is, this is a really fun one. The safest form of money they call central bank money, huh? Now, Christine, I really like a lot of the things you say, and I really respect you for your position, but I believe your own sort of money that's decentralized is always safer than central bank money, but that's just me. Now, Thread, we've decided to launch a project to prepare for possibly issuing a digital euro. We will look at how a digital euro could be designed and distributed to everyone in the euro area, as well as the impact it would have. Our experimental work has already allowed us to identify possible ways to protect privacy. It has also shown that our experimental work has already allowed us to identify possible ways to protect privacy. You already know, it's not like they're all of a sudden going to start researching. They've researched it for a couple of years now. It has also shown that the energy needs for the infrastructure would be negligible compared with the energy consumption and environmental footprint of crypto assets such as Bitcoin. Pretty funny that they named that as an example. A digital euro will be successful if it adds value for people, merchants, and financial intermediaries in the euro area, says Executive Board Member Fabio Panetta, explaining the latest decision in the ECB blog. So, you can actually read this for yourself if you want to. It's not that difficult to find. King Solomon actually posted a little bit of a different link. Here's the full breakdown of the ECB's experiments with the digital euro thus far. This was just released today as well. You have to dig through the blog post to find it. There's quite a bit in here. Just wanted to share. And that's a little 9-pager right here. Let's quickly see. We have the preparing. This is the blog post. Preparing for the Euro's digital future. Blog post by Fabio Panetta, member of the executive board of the ECB, 14th of July. And this one is a different little document. Let's see if we have any date specifically. He says it was released today. I'm not exactly sure who it is also released by, to be completely honest with you, but it's basically about the digital euro and what they've done, and a lot of people are reading into this, looking into this. There's no mention of Ripple, was there? Let me quickly check again. No, in this one, there's no mention of Ripple. In a couple of other ones, there are, but we'll cover that in just a second. So one of the persons actually replied saying, 3-second settlements, payment channels, few kilowatts to run, thousands of transactions per second, central bank accounts acting as a bridge for liquidity transfer. What this basically refers to is how they are looking to change things and how they are basically going to make their system better. It's not really explaining exactly what intermediary or what party they would use, but it's about the thought process of what they need to change and how it needs to change and what type of system. Now, there's actually multiple things which they mentioned, though, which are not Ripple related. For example, in addition to Workstream explored the possibility of combining this blockchain solution with the existing digital identity and digital signature components. This type of stuff, for example, there's actually a lot of different cryptos that could work in that specific regard that we really never thought about working with Ripple, or might have not thought too much about. Then again, this paper is kind of nice for Ripple, kind of stupid. Why? Well, since they don't mention it literally, it's not that nice. Then again, because of everything that they've explained in here, which again, you could kind of summarize as just every point that Ripple does, every single point of them. Well, yeah, then it's pretty nice to see. You know, it's compliant. It's everything it says in here is just explaining Ripple. Then again, Ripple and a couple of other technologies are quite akin to each other. So it's difficult to see whether or not they're looking into that or even thought about it. Well, thought about it, we can actually say they have thought about it. I mean, the Bank of France. Right now, I wanted to show you guys that document, but let me quickly see exactly where it was. I wanted to show you guys that little document, but it's closed, which basically means they're upgrading their system, so I can't show you what the Bank of France said back then. But the Bank of France basically said Ripple and XRP enjoy the trust of many banks as a model for CBDCs because it is highly centralized and based on a permission network where only certain network nodes can validate transactions, as opposed to decentralized and permissionless Bitcoin and Ether. This obviously is kind of skewed towards one side. I believe firmly that what they meant with centralized is mostly Ripple, and the permission network where only a certain network nodes can validate transactions. This part is actually true. However, it's also not true. I think they're actually talking about the unique node list, which again doesn't really verify as exactly what they say. And as opposed to decentralized and permissionless Bitcoin and Ether, well, yeah and no. I mean, permissionless, decentralized, these are two words which are sometimes taken out of context in this specific sense. Because XRP Ledger, obviously decentralized, we've talked about that a lot of things and or times. And permissionless is really a difficult one to pinpoint exactly. Because what network exactly is permissionless for what reason? If you can always enter, well, you can always enter. But the question is, will you want to enter and will it serve any real benefit? But if there is any permission as to why you cannot enter, that's I guess, the difficult question. And if there is a permission as to why you cannot participate, then you're not permissionless. But if you can do whatever you want, which you can, even though it might not be significant, if you can do it, I guess you are permissionless still, right? So that one is a little bit of a difficult one to actually pinpoint. However, the point is this line right down below. France's central bank, Banque de France, has openly discussed Ripple/XRP as a possible platform for Europe's central bank digital currency. So you better understand that within their talks here of the digital euro experimentation over the years, they have talked about Ripple. And once more, everything that they discuss here is really quite related to it. Once more, we've discussed a couple of times, again, why the Bank of France has actually spoken out like this, and it's really hard to pinpoint. Some people say, no, they were actually talking about Ripple themselves because of, the other part basically utilizing a different part of RippleNet, which doesn't use XRP. Then again, they do mention Ripple and XRP in that part. Might be misinformed, might be an older statement. For example, a statement from before XRP Ledger was properly decentralized. That could also be so. Could be a misinformed individual writing this part. It could be a lot of different things. But once more, the little annoying part about that is if this person was misinformed, well, then his words have less significance. But if he was really properly informed, then this is annoying to see. You guys get me. Now, we're going to quickly actually intervene here. Say, guys, make sure you sign up down below for the BuyBit competition. Right now, we are at 1,500 XRP that's going to be given away for free. We can get that to 30,000, all right? So you guys, the people who signed up with the link down below, can win up to 30,000 XRP. It's not a joke. It's not fake. You don't need to pay anything to enter. all you need to do is sign up yourself for the trading competition, and you need to have 300 XRP in total in your balance. And it's basically going to be so, the person with the highest, I think the top 10 people with the highest ROI are going to be winning some money. The entire scheme of what you can win is down here, but there's thousands of dollars to be won, and it doesn't cost you anything. If you already made an account under somebody else on BuyBit, make a new account. You can do it. Make sure you use the referral link down below though. If you've made an account in the past, also completely good. All you have to quickly do is press the register now button for the competition itself. You can make a new account. All that stuff doesn't really matter. Make sure you participate though. It's completely free, and you can always decide to not trade. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but by entering, you're up in these participants amounts, which basically means that the people who are entering, who are also subscribers of the channel, most likely, 99% sure, they can at least win some more money, and it doesn't cost you anything to enter, so make sure you enter. Make sure you enter. There's no risk involved in that part. Make sure you enter. If you're not going to trade, that's a different part, all right? Because trading, of course, is the riskier side, but think about it for yourself, man. This is completely just outside from my own perspective. For yourself, think about it. It's free freaking money. If you're going to trade anyway, then you should enter 100%. If you're not going to trade, but now you're thinking about it, once more, think about it. It might be worth a shot. I definitely think that one of these guys who's going to win, for example, a couple $1,000s, has just pressed something by accident, so to speak, just tried something and it worked out. Because theoretically speaking, a person who has 300 XRP in there, who opens a 50 times leverage position, just, longing or shorting, if he gets lucky, he has an ROI of all of a sudden, let's say 500%, and actually becomes number one without actually putting any effort in, just by trying something out. And that's, again, what I'm trying to put up here. It might actually work without you being a good trader. But once more, there's more risk involved there. But, put yourself on a pedestal a little bit. It might work out good for you. And again, think about it. All right, then let's quickly see, because I pressed the Bank of England document by accident. This is about the RTGS. Now let's quickly read a little bit more into the previous one, because I wanted to show, I believe in this document here, they do mention Ripple. There we go. Selected private sector initiatives. This is also a document from the ECB from 2019. A community group by the W3 is developing further interledger protocol, a set of rules that allows payments to be sent across different types of ledgers. IOP is built on the initial proposal laid out in the white paper, which again, where it's getting interesting, a protocol for interledger payments by Thomas and Swartz, both Ripple employees. Hey. So once more, this is the ECB saying a community group of the World Wide Web Consortium, W3C, is developing further the interledger protocol, a set of rules that allows payments to be sent across different types of ledgers. An IOP is built on the initial proposal laid out in the white paper, a protocol for interledger payments by Ripple's employees. Chapter 3 provides a more detailed description of the underlying concept of IOP. And Swartz specifically is also a co-creator or co-designer of the XP ledger, as you most likely know. Now, Ripple has developed Xcurrent, which is a part of RippleNet that does not utilize XRP, which connects financial institutions via a global network of participating entities, RippleNet. Xcurrent is built around IOP and enables bidirectional communication between participating entities and coordination of payments across ledgers. And from this perspective, I sometimes think maybe this is what they're referring to in the bank, in the Bank of France statement, because mind you, very much so. If those banks were to adopt it anyway, they wouldn't utilize XRP to build something on necessarily. They might be able to use the XP ledger. For example, we could get the federated sidechains going on and they could build on there. Or Ripple could propose this new private ledger and they could build on there. They're not going to use the public blockchain XRP ledger that we transact our XRP over right now. Even though there is a video coming out a little bit later, most likely talking about exactly how you could send almost anything over the XRP ledger. I'll do another little fun video about that. But think about that for yourself. They're connected. They talk about it. It's a perfect little fit for it. And obviously, it also hits kind of close to home because these guys, the Ripple guys, are the ones that built a lot of this stuff. Now, I'm sometimes thinking because a lot of the stuff that like the ECB and whatever and the high officials are based in Belgium or close towards Belgium, Swift, of course, hits a little bit close to home too. But I still believe Swift is pretty far behind in all of this. And even though they're trying their best, they're pretty far behind. I'm not exactly sure how successful or how happy those guys are going to be for them, but it's about the idea, man. All these big countries, they know about Ripple. They're talking about Ripple. They have it in the back of their heads. It's just a question of really pulling this through. And even if they were to use something else instead of Ripple to build their CBDC upon, I still think the bridge will be made with Ripple as the midst of things. My own opinion, though, what I think. Here was, for example, Ripple to support central banks through a private version of the XP ledger. This was a proposal. The new version will help central banks in issuance and management of CBDCs. Ripple posted an announcement on their insights page where they basically explained how Ripple pilots a new private ledger for central banks launching CBDCs. This is, again, March 2021. And they've most likely been talking for years, and they're just explaining here, hey, we've got a lot of requests. We want to scale this up a little bit. We want to make sure they can actually run on us, and we've been talking with all these central banks. They have a high standard of security. We want to work with them, and we need this. I was like, oh, I was all up for it. And so I just think it's expanding itself. And here was how the US and EU central banks view the future of CBDCs. The reason I put this one up here is actually just to kind of show you guys, hey, Ripple has thought about it. Ripple has talked with them. Ripple's in every single one of those big entities. If, for example, the ECB were to think of going for a CBDC, they most likely invite a lot of different fintech companies, like, for example, Ripple and maybe Swift guys, to actually explain a part of what they do. Maybe also custody providers and all those types of guys that they might want to be involved with or that might know the realm, basically, like the Fed did in the US. Now, Ripple is going to be on all of those, and they know, of course, what the ECB or what the Fed is looking for in a CBDC and what type of stuff they'd want or what type of direction they want to get it towards. And so from that perspective, too, they can also build necessarily whatever is required. And it kind of comes to the point that these guys know what they're doing, and I firmly believe they're going to be taken over. But again, we don't know until we get there, but it's just something to be excited about, I think. We don't know exactly what CBDCs will be built on top of Ripple, one of Ripple solutions. We do know, however, that eventually we'll get to our end goal, and that's, I guess, the most exciting part about it. Guys, make sure you sign up. Link is down below. We need to get to at least 500 people to get 30,000 XRP. It's completely free, 30,000 freaking XRP. This could be, how much could this be, guys? This could be $500,000 in a couple of months, couple of years. Who knows, right? Right now, XRP is only 66 cents, so this is only like 18,000 or 61 cents. This is only maybe like $18,000. But once more, guys, if XP goes to a couple of dollars, it's $10 a pop. This is freaking $300,000 that's given away right now for free over just a couple of people. Right now, there's only 33 people entering, and there's already 1,500 XRP or $15,000 given away in future money. That's still a low estimate, though. All right, think about that. Once more, check it out. A link is down below. And if you're thinking, oh, why is this guy pushing it so much? It's because it's took quite a lot of work to get this much money for you guys. There's no benefit for me being more money or less money. All right, so it took a lot of work, and I'm really freaking excited about it. We only have a couple more days because it's going to start in a couple of days from now. So make sure you enter, make sure you enter, make sure you enter. And also make sure you press the like button if you enjoyed these updates.